Hello, everybody. Um, Welcome to a very special video. Today, I'm going to give you guys my top 10 favorite New York Jets games of all time. But before I do that, please hit that subscribe button to really help out the channel. And if you want to become a true believer, please sign up to Patreon. It only costs $5 a month. Thank you and have a night. Thank you very much. It'll really help grow out the channel a lot. That will be very well appreciated. Anyway, let us get started. Man, the New York Jets, they're one of those teams at times you really love to root for, but then there are also times they're a team that you really love to hate. And the Jets have had quite a bit of memorable games, both in a good way and in a bad way. But today we're going to talk about the good games the Jets have had, some of the good games that I really have seen the Jets have had over the years, and some of the more memorable, positively memorable Jets games that I've seen over the course of my lifetime, being a fan of the green and white. So without further ado, let us get started. Number 10. 2009-2010 AFC wildcard round versus the Cincinnati Bengals. This game means a lot to me because this is one of my favorite Jets games because A, this was the first time I got to see our beloved Gang Green in the playoffs. And I remember going on this one YouTube channel called JR Sport Brief. I don't know if he's still doing YouTube nowadays, but I remember him giving the Jets an edge because of their defense, but he wasn't very positive on the quarterback and the offense outside of their offensive line and running game. Well, as much as I really loved the performance from our offensive line, our running game, our offense, and from the defense and special teams, there was one particular person that really impressed me the most, and that was then rookie quarterback Mark Sanchez. Now, Mark Sanchez had a very rough rookie season, threw 12 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, but still managed to find a way to help lead the Jets to a 9-win season and a wild card spot in the playoffs. And obviously, for him to go into his first ever playoff game and outplay a seasoned veteran / rock solid quarterback, seasoned / rock solid veteran in Carson Palmer. Yeah, in my opinion, he was a good quarterback for many years in the NFL. I think Sanchez went 12 for 15, 15 for 20, 199, 15 for 20, whichever those passing numbers were. Anyway, he threw for 199 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers, and the Jets bested the Bengals 24-14. The defense had an outstanding game. They pretty much only let Cedric Benson to do all the work. Cedric Benson, I think, would have ended up the game finishing with the greatest single-game rushing performance in Cincinnati Bengals postseason history. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comment section down below if I'm wrong about that. But that was something that I really, really liked from the game, from the Jets in that particular game, especially from Mark Sanchez. Because in all the adversity he went through throughout the regular season, that to me showed that he had character. And there's one thing I've always liked in an athlete is character. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Got myself a bottle of water. Anyways, number 9. Number 9. Hope I got him wrong, right? Number 9. Week 2, 2022, Jets at the Browns. This is one of the craziest freaking games I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the Jets, it looked like it was going to be another consecutive L for the New York Jets. They were down 30-17 within less than 2 minutes to go to the game. Nick Chubb, I believe, scored his 3rd touchdown of the game, and he ran buckwild all over the Jets. And we're like, damn it, another L. The defense didn't show up to play. Offense didn't really do much. All of a sudden, the Jets get the ball back. 2 plays, they score quickly. Joe Flacco, who had his best game as a Jet, throws a bomb, an absolute bomb, to Corey Davis for a touchdown. Then we're like, okay, the Jets scored very quickly. Hopefully we get the onside kick, which I thought that's not going to happen. But Lord and behold, the Jets do the impossible. They get the onside kick. They march down the field. Joe Flacco throws his fourth touchdown pass of the game, his second to Garrett Wilson, who was a rookie at that time, for the lead. The Jets would go up 31-30. Then the Jets go back on defense. They intercept Jacoby Brissett, and the Jets win the ball game. It was a crazy game. Plus, what I also liked about this game, it was a coming out party for Garrett Wilson, who would go on to show that he has the talent to be one of the premier wide receivers in the National Football League. I mean, he goes to Cleveland, Ohio, and he lets them know about it. Then that to me is awesome. Number 8. There we go. Is Week 8, 2021 versus the Bengals, a.k.a. the Mike White Hall of Fame game. Why is this in my list? Because Mike freaking White, man. I mean, this was a guy that was an unknown. You didn't know what you were going to get from this guy. And he shocked not only us Jet fans, but the entire NFL world. In his first NFL game, he completes well over 60% of his passes, throws for 408 yards, 3 touchdowns against the eventual AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, and leads the Jets to an improbable 34-31 victory over the Bengals in regulation. That right there, in my opinion, was friggin' awesome. Shout out to Mike White. I know he's on the Dolphins, but still got to show him some love. Number 7 is Week 2, 2009 versus the Patriots. This was the final game between the Jets and their arch rivals, the Patriots, at Giants Stadium. The Jets would end up defeating the Patriots 16-9. Darrelle Revis showed up, shut down Randy Moss. As a matter of fact, I think there was a play where he out-mossed Randy Moss for the football, which led to an interception. The Jet defense was constantly harassing Tom Brady all day. Chris Jenkins Sr. was constantly manhandling the Patriots' best center. He was constantly in Tom Brady's face. Mark Sanchez, who was a rookie, had a pretty decent game. The Jets did a pretty decent job offensively, especially in the second half. But what came out of this game, guys, was after the Jets beat the Patriots, my dad walks up to the TV screen, and as soon as he sees Bill Belichick shake hands with Rex Ryan, he goes, "Yeah, take that, Belichick, you jerk." And I'm like, me as a fan, I'm smiling. Yeah. Number 6. Week 11, 2008 versus the Patriots. This was a game the Jets needed to have. Prior to Week 18 of last season, this was the last time the Jets were able to defeat the Patriots in Foxborough during the regular season. Jets had Brett Favre at the quarterback position, and boy, did he put up a great performance. He didn't commit a single turnover. Lean Washington returns a kickoff for a touchdown. Thomas Jones scores a couple of TDs. Jerry Cotchery makes quite a few incredible catches here and there. The defense, for the most part, contained Randy Moss at one play, which tied the game up and sent it into overtime. But the Jets came out victorious. They ended up defeating the Patriots 34-31 in overtime on a Jay Philly game-winning field goal. Awesome shit, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's 10 through 6. But before I give you the top 5, here are some honorable mentions that didn't make the cut. Week 5 or 6 versus the Dallas Cowboys in 2019. Sam Darnold comes back from mono, puts up a hell of a performance, throws for 300-plus yards and 2 touchdowns, and ends up leading the Jets to a 24-22 victory in overtime. Week 1, September 10th, 2018, my 24th birthday. Jets manhandled the Lions in Sam Darnold's debut. Loved it. Week 9, 2010, Jets defeat the Lions in overtime 23-20 while being down 20-10 heading in the fourth quarter. I remember that game being very chippy and very physical from time to time, and the Jets managed to beat the Lions on my dad's 52nd birthday. Week 4, 2021, I go to my, what makes that game so special, that was the first Jets game I ever went to live in person. Granted, I wasn't impressed with the design and look and landscape of MetLife Stadium, but talking to some of the Jet fans was a wonderful experience. Seeing the game live was a wonderful experience. Seeing Zach Wilson put up one of the better games of his career, throwing for 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, and leading the Jets to a 27-24 victory in overtime over the Tennessee Titans. The Jet defense would end up sacking Ryan Tannehill 7 times. That was a fun experience. But yeah, those are a few honorable mentions. Now let's go to the top 5. Number 5. Week 4, 2008 versus the Cardinals at Giant Stadium. This is probably one of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life. The Jets were up 34-0 at halftime. Then in the third quarter, the Cardinals started making a ridiculous comeback. Then the Jets get the ball back, and Brett Favre continues his magic from the first half. He threw 3 touchdown passes to Lavernius Coles in the first half. Then the second half, he throws 3 more touchdown passes. 2 to Jericho Cotchery, 1 to the rookie phenom at the time in Dustin Keller. He would end up which would end up being a career high for Favre, as well as tying a franchise record 6 touchdown passes, and the Jets would end up beating the Arizona Cardinals by the score of 56-35. Holy Toledo, Babin, that is a lot of scoring points. Anyways, I also remember was how the game ended. Both Eric Smith and Anquan Boldin both knock each other the hell out while trying to dive for the football at the goal line, and it ended up pretty scary. Good news is Anquan Boldin would continue playing the rest of the season. Eric Smith would do the same thing. But that moment was just absolutely terrifyingly scary. Number 4. Week 12, 2010, Jets versus the Texans at MetLife Stadium. What a freaking game that was, and what a coming out party for Santonio Holmes as a New York Jet. The Jets would go, at one point in the ball game, they were up 23-7. Then the Texans started making a crazy comeback, but then with less than 2 minutes to go in the ball game, Mark Sanchez leads an incredible game-winning drive, throwing beautiful pass after beautiful pass, including a bomb down the sideline to Braylon Edwards. Then at the 10-yard line or 8-yard line, there was a beautiful corner of the end zone pass for Santonio Holmes for the game-winning touchdown, and the Jets would end up winning the ball game 30-27. What a freaking game that shit was. It was an incredible ball game, in my opinion. Number 3. Week 2, 2010, Jets versus Patriots at MetLife Stadium. Oh, man, what a fucking game that was, baby. I mean, the Jets would go on to defeat the Patriots 28-14 after being down 14-10 at half. The defense would shut up Tom Brady and the Patriots in the second half. And FYI, Tom Brady had a shitty hairstyle at that time. I mean, this hairdo was freaking disgusting. It was unbelievably bad. But then, and of course, Mark Sanchez would throw for a career best at that time, 3 touchdown passes, 1 to Braylon Edwards, 1 to Jericho Cotchery, 1 to Dustin Keller. The defense would harass Tom Brady all game long in the second half. Jason Taylor would do his thing, strip sack Tom Brady. It was a phenomenal game to watch. Plus, the post-game press conference, Tom Brady was priceless. It was pretty much a replica of Jim Morrow Sr. from back in the day. We couldn't complete a pass. We couldn't get a first down. We couldn't score. We sucked. Peace out, guys. It was hilarious. I loved it. Number two. Week 12, 2008 versus the 10-0 Tennessee Titans. This was a game I will forever hold near and dear to my heart because the Jets were on the road against a heavily favored Tennessee Titans team that for a while kind of looked like, world beaters for a while. But the Jets come in and give them a good old-fashioned can of whoop ass. I mean, Brett Favre would continue his good season performance. The Jets would run the ball down the Titans' throat. Leland Washington would score a couple of touchdowns. Thomas Jones would score a touchdown. Brett Favre would throw a couple of touchdown passes. And the defense against a good team, in my opinion, would go on to have their best performance of the season. Yes, I know they destroyed the Rams 47-3, but the Rams at that time were terrible. So against a good team, they had a really good performance. And what made me remember this game, what made me love this game so much that I got so much shit for being a Jet fan that year during my freshman year of high school, especially the fact that Brett Favre was the quarterback. A lot of the asshole kids were like, oh, Brett Favre, he's going to have a heart attack. He's going to die on the field. He's too old. Brett Favre would do something that would beat the Kerry Collins-led Tennessee Titans team. And one of the kids that was such an asshole was an obnoxious Colts fan. So when the Jets beat the Titans, I got it. So he said, hey, old man Favre did what your boy Peyton Manning couldn't. And he's like, okay, Charles, whatever. Basically, he was booty hole hurt. So, that was a great game. I remember being at my grandparents' previous apartment complex. I got so excited, either soda or chocolate came pouring out my nose. It was that freaking ridiculous. I got so excited over that game. It wasn't even funny. Now, drum roll, please. My number one favorite New York Jets game of all time is the 2010-2011 AFC Divisional Round versus the New England Patriots. In my opinion, I think this is the second greatest win in the history of the franchise. Why I say that? Because the Jets were going to defeat a team in the playoffs that were going to have 10 plus more years of dominance, go on to win 3 more Super Bowls, and they would go on to avenge their 45-3 ass beating they received by the Patriots on Monday Night Football several plus weeks ago. And the Jets did it in style. I mean, as the Patriots were driving down the field, David Harris intercepts Tom Brady, nearly takes it to the house. Then the Patriots would go on to continue to struggle for the rest of the game. The Jet defense would go on to sack Tom Brady 5 times, twice by 2 sacks courtesy of Shaun Ellis, who would go on to have the game of his career, in my opinion. The Patriots did not play very well that game. They played like shit. Yeah, they only lost by a touchdown, but it didn't feel like it. And Mark Sanchez were going to throw 3 touchdown passes, 1 to LaDainian Tomlinson, 1 to Brandon Edwards, who were going to drag 2 top-tier Patriot defenders into the end zone, and then 1 to Santonio Holmes, which was a beautiful pass in the corner of the end zone, and Santonio Holmes making an incredible catch in that game. It was so incredible. Sean Green would then finish the game with a touchdown run, and the rest was history. I mean, that game, to me, is a classic for us Jet fans to remember. This was easily one of the best my favorite. This is easily the best Jets game I've ever seen in my life. It was that damn good. It's something to remember for us Jet fans. I really love that game with a passion. I love that game to death. It was so damn good. Anyway, we defeat the Patriots 28-21. We would go on to the AFC Championship game. Unfortunately, we would lose to the Steelers, but that divisional round, that divisional matchup versus the Patriots was a fucking awesome game. I love it to death. Anyway, that is my top 10 favorite New York Jets games of all time. What are yours? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, peace out. I'm sorry, hold on, I've been doing it wrong. Peace out.